It's time for history to be made. Our first ever winner of the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine around this Hockenheim circuit is about to be crowned. And with it, we could crown our team's champions for 2023 and our vice champion as well. Welcome everyone to the first race of the season finale. A fantastic atmosphere gathering around this Hockenheim circuit. 100,000 fans expected through the gates this weekend. We have a superb atmosphere building at the meet and greet for the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine drivers earlier. A huge turnout of lots of fans coming to meet the drivers. Was fantastic to see many of them coming down, the drivers busy signing autographs, and a lot of support coming in for a certain German driver who is going to be starting on the second row. My name's Chris McCarthy. It's a pleasure to have your company as always. A dry circuit out there, great conditions as the sun slowly begins to fade away here in Germany. The drivers are just heading out on the circuit now, heading round to the grid to line up. After that, they will get themselves on to the circuit for a warm-up lap, and then we will go racing for 30 minutes plus a lap. You can see they're just going down to the end of the pit lane for what will be the practice starts for them as they head out to go around on the installation laps. Just final chances to make sure all is dialed in with the car, and after that they will go around for the formation lap. Before that, we will then have the warm-up lap, and then we will go racing. Fantastic to have your company, as it has been throughout the season as well. Hope you've enjoyed what you've seen so far this season. We have a chance to break many a record. It's been a fantastic season of racing, and I think we're ending it at one of the most perfect locations and with one of the most perfect atmospheres as well. Really excited for this one. When I was here with Formula Renault Eurocup back in 2019 and 2020, the racing was absolutely superb. This time we have the addition of the push-to-pass system as well, so it's going to be even more close in terms of racing, with even more opportunities to pass. However, the man they're going to be all trying to pass is this one here, his first official pole position of the season. Kaz Havakor lining up on that spot for the third time in his Frecker career, lined up on first place at Zandvoort after a grid penalty for Martinius Stenchel, and went on to take the win that day. Can he make it back-to-back wins? Alongside him, looking to deny him that, will be Rafael Camara, who in the process wants to help Prema Racing outscore RAce GP by a single point and become team's champions. RAce GP are lining up on third place with Martinius Stenchel. Martinius, our rookie champion, and trying to become the vice champion. If he can outscore his teammate Tim Tramnitz by 4 points in today's race, he will crown himself the vice champion. But that German driver, with a lot of support today, lines up alongside him on row number 2. Red Bull Junior, let's see what he can do. He wants nothing other than race wins. He's going to be on pole position for tomorrow as well, and Tim Tramnitz going for the double. RAce GP, just when they needed all three cars in the top 10, they got it. A best ever qualifying result for Matthias Zacazetta, beating the 12th place he had prior to that as his best ever result. Superb performance. His best result on track in a race was 5th place back at the season opener at Imola. Can he go one, maybe even two better this time? Maceo Capietto is going to be on row number 3 for RPM as well. Their first time here, like many other teams, trying to find the setup has been a little bit difficult for them at times, but Keith Donegan and his team are really dialed into this track now, as is Maceo on what is his debut at this circuit. He's going to be on the third row. On row number 4, Sami Megatunov for MP Motorsport. 5 top 10 starts in the last 7 races. He is on absolute fine form when it comes to qualifying, and he's converting those into good point scoring finishes as well, and into some podium results. You can see see the new crash helmet he's got in memory of Delano Vanthoff as well. Will be looking to end his season with a podium. Nikita Bedrin, last time he was racing in here was ADAC F4 back in 2021, and when he did, he was on the top step of the podium. Won here back in 2021, was racing here in ADAC F4 last year as well with Van Amersfoort Racing, so he's on winning form with that team around this circuit. Let's see what he can do now he returns with them. Great to have him with us. Alessandro Giusti is going to be on row number 5, and he has big company on that row to Giusti as well. It's been a great season for the G4 Racing driver. Alongside him on that 5th row is our newly crowned champion, Andrea Kimi Antonelli. It's been a fantastic season for Andrea Kimi Antonelli. Sealed the title in the 2nd race at Zandvoort last week, coming from 8th on the grid. Didn't take him long at all to get through to the lead, 2.5 laps to be exact. Then he hit the front and went and won by 12.5 seconds, despite the fact that we did have a 35-minute red flag. Here we then come just outside of the top 10. Lawrence Van Hoopen, one of the drivers that was down at that meet and greet session earlier on. A lot of support coming in for the ART Grand Prix driver who was out testing with them in Formula 3 post-season testing. A lot of exciting things coming up for this young man, I'm sure, and had a fantastic home race last weekend, taking 2 podium finishes. Alongside him is going to be Roman Belinsky, makes his debut around this circuit. Roman back in the points last time. 5th place for him at Zandvoort, which was his personal best result of the season. He'll be hoping to fire through and get 2 more points finishes this weekend. Then we come to the driver who has been confirmed for next season, the first driver to put pen to paper. That is Noah Stromstead for RPM. He's confirmed to be racing with the team for a full campaign next year. Raced with us at Monza, finishing in 6th place and got a rookie win there as well. So let's see what he can do. He has high hopes already as a driver. Not just here to learn, he's here to get some good results for that team. Noah Stromstead has his teammate for company as well on row number 7 in Santiago Ramos. Wasn't with us at Zandvoort, so dropped out of the top 10 in terms of championship position. Now wants to get back inside it this weekend. Has been out testing in FIA Formula 3 post-season as well with Trident. Exciting things, I'm sure, coming up in the next 12 months for him. Then we come to Victor Bernier, who has raced around here in the past. 2 wins in F4 around this circuit and joined some pretty big names on the podium in that, who we now see in the likes of Formula 2 and Formula 3. So could be one to watch coming through from the 8th row. Owen Tangavelu, an impressive debut qualifying around the Hockenheim circuit for him to put himself on the outside of row 8, getting himself dialed in there in P16. Let's see what he can go and do. Then we come to the man who was on absolute fire at Zandvoort, gained 17 places for the 2nd year in a row at that circuit. Don't know how he does it. Who says it's a track you can't overtake on? Joshua Dirksen, let's see what he can do from P17 on the grid. After that, we're going to have Ivan Dominguez, who's got his best qualifying since joining us in this championship. He's one of a few guest drivers we have racing here this weekend with Van Amersfoort Racing. Has some great company down there in Kaz Havercourt, who could become the record holder for top 10 finishes if he's to finish in the top 10 in both races this weekend. We'll join Hadrian David on 32 top 10 finishes if he's to go and get a top 10 finish today, and if he's to do so again tomorrow, that will get him to 33 and get him to a new record. Nikhil Bora starts in 19th, was very disappointed with qualifying, felt he had a lot more in the car. Let's see if he can work his way forward in this one. A new circuit for Nikhil. Goes off row number 10 on this one, and then we come to Lorenzo Flusha. Just couldn't get the tyres going. He said to me earlier, was just struggling with it a bit. Said overall as a team they just seemed to struggle, and I think Kimi Antonelli being down in 10th was a little bit of a sign of that, but did speak to him as he'd come out of a team meeting and seemed fired up, seemed very confident. So I think the Prema Racing cars could be ones to watch in this race. Maya Berg for KIC Motorsport starts in 21st place, the Ferrari Driver Academy member. Good to see her back after that incident she had at Zandvoort. Great to get a good look at all the drivers before we see them going off on these warm-up laps. Has to say, loving these TV pictures. Alongside Maya is going to be Esteban Masson, who returns after Zandvoort was off racing in another series, which he's currently second place in. Tom Leben is going to be on row number 12. He was here racing in the GT4 European series. He has Emo Fittipaldi Jr., who was testing with MP Motorsport in FIA Formula 3. Javier Sagrera could be one to watch. Has been really impressive in his guest appearances so far with MP Motorsport. He has Marcus Armand, who was a podium and a pole position to his name at Zandvoort. And then we've got Francisco Soldavini, Valentin Kloos, the German, on his debut in 28th. Then Enzo Scianti, Evan Gilter. And then we have Ivan Klemenko, Giovanni Maschio, and Pierre-Alexandre Provost. Okay, off we go for the formation lap. The grandstands are filling up around that final corner. Everyone's had time to go off, grab a snack, grab a drink. Hope you've been able to do the same. There you can see now the crowds are getting a good seat. We are the only single-seater championship racing here this weekend. Everyone very much looking forward to this one. This is going to be a superb race. The first time we've ever come here as a championship. And Kaz Havercourt, our first ever pole sitter around Hockenheim. Tim Tramnitz has qualified every single race in the top 10. He's on row 2 with Martinius Stenchon. Starts behind Rafa Kamara on the front row. Then Zagazeta and Capietto row 3. Megatunif and Bedrin will be on row number 4. Rounding out the top 10 is Giusti and our champion Antonelli. Just outside the top 10 on row number 6 we go to Lorenz van Hoopen and Roman Belinsky, the Polish driver for Trident. Row 7, Noah Stromstead signed for 2024. He has his teammate Santiago Ramos alongside. Victor Bernier for MP Motorsport is row 8 with Owen Tangavelu for Trident. Then the man on the move, Joshua Dirksen, on row 9 with Ivan Dominguez. Very impressive from him to be row 9. Nikhil Bora is on row 10 with Lorenzo Flusha. Let's see if he's been able to get those issues from qualifying fixed. Then it's Maya Berg and Esteban Masson. Tom Leben and Emo Fittipaldi Jr. are next. Javier Zagrera and Marcus Armand are on row 13. Francisco Soldavini and Valentin Kloos are row 14. He was disappointed with his qualifying. Let's see what he can do in the race now. Then Enzo Scianti and Evan Gilter, Ivan Klemenko and Giovanni Maschio. Pierre-Alexandre Provost, really disappointing weekend for him. Did not start and it did not finish. So he'll just be hoping, I think, for a clean weekend. He joined the championship late this season. Hopefully we see him back for a full campaign next year. And for a few of the drivers out there, they're ending the season this year having not started it, sort of getting their eye in, I'm sure, for what could be a full season next year. Now, remember, we have the push-to-pass system in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. That becomes active after the first lap of racing. They get to use it 5 times throughout the race. You have to be in 4th gear before you can activate it, and it gives them 15 seconds of extra power when they push the yellow button on their steering wheel. They have to use it all at once. So keep an eye on that. We don't know when they're using it. They don't know when each others are using it as well. They're all in the same car, all on the same compound of tyre as well. We have to keep an eye on the battle for second in the championship between Stenchon and Tramnitz. If Stenchon outscores Tramnitz by 4 points, then he will become vice champion today. We use the same point system as Formula 1, minus any extra points for fastest lap. And if Prema Racing outscore RHGP by a single point, they become teams champions. All the drivers out there eligible to score points. I will keep an eye on that as best I can for you with the help of the guys in the truck as well. Kaz Havercourt looking to become the first ever winner here at Hockenheim. There goes the green flag at the back of the field. We get ready to go 30 minutes of racing around the German circuit. Here come the lights. To the outside of the circuit will be Kaz Havercourt. To the left of screen and inside will be Rafael Kamara. We are going for the first race of the season, and a great start from Rafael Camara. The Prema Racing driver takes the lead straight away through turn number 1, and he leads us down towards the second corner. Fantastic start from the Brazilian and German driver Tim Tramnitz to the outside, trying to get himself through into second place. Now Kaz Havercourt trying to fight back, as that looks like Joshua Dirksen in the red and white Arden car running wide through turn number 2. Here they go, single file down towards the turn 6 hairpin. Camara leading the way, might be in a bad situation now, leading. Havercourt to the middle, to the outside. Tim Tramnitz trying to go from third to first in one move. Can he get it done on the exit of the corner? He can. Tim Tramnitz hits the front of the first race here. We've got a spinner at the back. The crowd will be going wild round the grandstands. Their boy now leads the way as he comes down towards turn number 8 for the first time, and the R-Race GP driver is leading from Rafael Camara in one of the moves of the season. That looks like Ivan Dominguez, unfortunately, who failed to get going off the line, it seems, and we've got a safety car out after the first lap, unfortunately. Tim Tramnitz, well, that gives us a chance to recap, catch our breath back. Tim Tramnitz is leading the way, going from third to first, round the outside at the hairpin. That has to be one of the best moves in the feeder series this season. Absolutely fantastic. Placed his car perfectly. Cold brakes going down to turn 6 as well. Cold tyres, don't forget, and managed to get going. Well, Ivan Dominguez, I was looking out the window, didn't see any signs of his car. We did see a car going wide coming out of turn 1. I think that's where we've seen Dominguez go off. So I don't think he actually stalled on the line. I think the problems came a little bit later on for him as the cars come across the line to complete the first lap. Let's recap where we are in the top 10. You can see positions to the left of your screen. The Alpine safety car has picked them up. Tramnitz leads from Camara. Here's a look back at the start. Camara to the left, Havercourt to the right. Havercourt, no, he's got a bad start, comes straight across. Camara on the dirty side of the track, manages to get a good launch, gets down the inside. Let's look for the orange and black Van Amersfoort. Whoa, one of the KIC cars went airborne there. I don't know if that was Maya Verg who that was going airborne, but one of the KIC drivers it was who ran wide on the exit of the corner. Let's watch them come through one more time. I don't know if it was Maya Verg or not, or one of the other KIC drivers involved in that, as they then came down to turn number 2. Let's see if we can find out. Dominguez, I think, is already slowing up in the background. Joshua Dirksen has run wide. Here's the move. Tim Tramnitz brave on the brakes round the outside. Camara tried to do his best, and Tim Tramnitz straightened the car up on the exit of the corner quicker than anyone else, managed to get his foot down, and that is where the move was complete. 3 wide in the background. Oh, that was Tom Leben, who was clipped into a spin. Look to the left of screen. There comes Tom Leben. He's already spinning. One of the MP cars, Javier Segura, had to go round him in avoidance, unfortunately. Who's the car who went airborne? I don't know if it was Klemenko or Verg or not. Let's have a look and see if we can pick up a number. Not too sure. Marcus Armand, I think, was involved in that. It might have even been him. Not too sure. We'll wait and find out after the race, but what we do know is that Tim Tramnitz is leading from Camara. Havercourt is third, fourth is Stenchorn, fifth is Zagazeta, then is Capietto, Megatunev, Bedrin, Van Hoopen, Belinsky. Push to pass becomes active as soon as they cross the start-finish line, so expect people to be using it when they make their way down towards the first corner. Remember, Tramnitz is trying to chase down Stenchorn for second in the championship. So far, he would be taking 13 points out of that 22-point margin. Here we go in towards turn number 1 for the first time on the restart. Great restart from Tim Tramnitz. Needs to get a gap over the rest of the field, and he's got half a second in hand. In the background, Zagazeta having to defend from Capietto, who goes round the outside of the Peruvian driver, and that is a change for 5th place. sensible driving in the end from Zagazzetta. He knows he's now got the slipstream coming round turn 5 and in towards turn 6. Van Hoopen in the black and white ART to the outside. That is Sami Megatunov in the orange MP car. Here we go into the hairpin. Someone going down the inside. That's Stenchorn for third place on Kaz Havikor. Did he manage to get the move done? Kimi Antonelli in the number 12 has gone down the inside and made a place a little bit further down the order. He's fighting away with Roman Belinsky, who's side by side with Laurens Van Hoopen. Told you it was going to be hard to keep up with. Stenchorn is through. He's past Kaz Havikor for P3. That's allowed the two leaders to get away. There's Kimi Antonelli in the red and white Prema. Round the outside he goes of Sami Megatunov. That's a change for P10. Through turn 11 in towards turn 12. Very quick right-hander, this one, which takes us into turn number 12 now. The hairpin down at T12 and into 13. Great section of corners these as we head up towards the final two corners now. Absolutely fantastic to watch them coming through this section. 24 minutes left on the clock. Tim Tramnitz leading from Rafa Kamara. Will he be using that push to pass? It is Stenchorn now in third after that fantastic late lunge down the inside of Havikor, who needs to just regroup here and try and get back on the attack. Zagazzetta is under attack once again, this time from Nikita Bedrin, who goes round the outside at turn number 2, gets down the inside at turn 3. Almost watching like a repeat there, and that is Zagazzetta losing another place now, this time to Nikita Bedrin, who knows how to stand on the podium around this circuit, and that is him now up to P6. Here we go, great view. This gives us a look of what the gaps are looking like within the top 10 as Bedrin defends from Zagazzetta into the turn 6 hairpin as they make their way now out onto the run down to the flat out turn number 7. Havikor chasing after Stenchorn for third. Capietto could be coming under attack from Nikita Bedrin, who I'd say is the one to watch in this race. Laurens Van Hoopen is 8th. Roman Belinsky working his way up the order nicely in 9th. That was Shiusti trying to get down the inside of Noah Stromstead now in the red and white Prema. That's Lorenzo Flusha trying to get round the outside in the battle for 14th. Into turn 11 we go now. And to the turn 12 hairpin, Flusha not quite able to get through, but it looks like he's made 5 places so far in this race. So having a pretty good start to the race is Lorenzo Flusha, making some good progress. Here come the leaders making their way now down the start-finish straight. Tramnitz leading the way from Rafa Kamara. He's got pole position for tomorrow as well. That move from Stenchorn, though, to get third place has given him 3 additional points. G4 racing car off in the background. That's Francisco Soldavini. That loses him a place to the number 14 of Javier Sagrera. So it means currently the Tramnitz is only going to reduce the gap by 10 points to Martinius Stenchorn. They join each other on the front row tomorrow. Pierre-Alexandre Provost trying to go round the outside of teammate Francisco Soldavini and does so successfully through turn 2 in towards turn number 3. Great move there from Pierre-Alexandre Provost. Currently, the gap between Tramnitz and Stenchorn would come down by 10 points, so it would be 12 points going in to tomorrow. Oh, almost a little bit of contact there. Stenchorn, this is great stuff from him. Damage limitation and a podium in the process. We're going to catch a replay here of the move between Pierre-Alexandre Provost round the outside, then gets that inside move into turn 3. It's become a popular overtake so far. Oh, that's why we saw Soldavini under attack. That's what we saw in the top of picture. Seemed to get it all wrong, and that was an MP car helping himself to a place, which is Javier Sagrera. Goes through without any problems at all. Incident between cars 14 and 5 will be investigated after the race. So that's Sagrera and Leben. So it was Javier Sagrera who was involved in that incident with Tom Leben, who was tacked into a spin. We've lost Ivan Dominguez. Klemenko seems to have dropped down the order. Oh, Roman Belinsky under attack in towards turn number 1 there. That looked That looked like an ambitious overtake there. Looks like Belinsky has been able to hold on. Sami Megatuniv it was trying to make the move, and here comes Nikhil Bora down the inside at turn number 2 on Sami Megatuniv. Can he get through? He's being surrounded by Trident drivers, and just about managing to get round the outside was Nikhil Bora. Looks like Sami Megatuniv is grabbing a toe from Roman Belinsky. This is for the final point. Points down to the top 10, just like they are in Formula 1. Here we go into the hairpin. Nikhil Bora lunging down the inside of Sami Megatuniv, tries to get the run on the exit and gets the move complete. Being coached by Robbie Kerr, and he would have been happy with that one as he gets now down the inside through T7. Up ahead, that's Van Hoopen trying to go round the outside of Antonelli. Those two fighting over 7th place so far in this race. And look at this battle going on in the background. We can see Belinsky fighting away there with Sami Megatuniv, Nikhil Bora as well. So Nikhil Bora looks like he's got past Roman Belinsky now as well. Belinsky now the one in 10th place. And in the background, that's Giusti in the black and white G4, trying to get down the inside of Noah Stromstead in the green and orange RPM. Can't quite get through. Now Stromstead lunges down the inside into the final 2 corners. Can't quite make it. Sami Megatuniv was distracted by it though, so filling the mirrors for Noah Stromstead there did work. Tactics that often they use in single-seater racing. If you can't get through, just stick yourself in the mirrors and you might find the driver ahead makes a mistake. The number 21, Enzo Scionti, running wide out the final corner, looking at the commentary box window. Here comes Giusti down the inside of Stromstead, can't quite get through. Stromstead himself trying to get past Sami Megatuniv. Out front, Tramnitz leads by 0.8 of a second. They have 2.5 seconds over Martini Stenchel. Pretty evenly matched in terms of lap times as we watch Stromstead going round the outside now of one of the Prema racing cars. In fact, that's Flusha getting a move done and another one done. That's Santiago Ramos. He was side by side with a mistake up ahead from Giusti, and Flusha absolutely flying in this race. That's 7 places gained as Sami Megatuniv side by side there with Noah Stromstead in the background. Giusti trying to go round the outside of Lorenzo Flusha. Lorenzo Flusha trying to force him wide and just about manages to get away with it there. Is there a problem on the car for Giusti? Looked a little bit out of shape, and now he's going to lose another place in towards turn 11, this time to Owen Tangavellu in the blue and red Trident car there. Gets down the inside into turn 11. Maya Berg now getting involved in this as well in that black and red KIC liveried car. The Ferrari Driver Academy member now starting to make her way through the field. So much going on in this race, isn't there? Maya Berg doing a good job. She started 21st place. She's into the top 20. That's Emo Fittipaldi Jr. making a place in the background. His teammate Esteban Masson running wide. So Emo Fittipaldi Jr. helps himself to 21st place in this race. We're approaching half race distance. If you're enjoying this, we still have another 17 minutes to go. Whoa, Kaz Havikort running wide out the final corner. Just about manages to keep it in a straight line, but look at that, airborne briefly was Kaz. Maceo Capietto has gone through to P4, and he's going to be under attack now from Nikita Bedrin. This was what I was telling you about before. Enzo Scionti, he did pretty much the exact same thing in qualifying, running wide and nearly going into the BWT barrier. Just about managed to get back onto the circuit in time. Then I think now this is Esteban Masson in that blue and white Santilok racing car. There goes Emo Fittipaldi Jr., who goes back through. The gap coming down out front. Rafael Camara has just set the fastest first set. Oh no! The two teammates facing each other, not in a straight line, and that is going to be the safety car out, unfortunately. So they have come together down at the hairpin. Emo Fittipaldi Jr. and Esteban Masson. Let's have a look at what happened. So, oh no, that's Emo Fittipaldi Jr. who's ran wide, and Esteban Masson thought he saw a gap on the inside, and that's going to be an awkward chat in the Santilok racing truck later. Well, briefly, they were just facing each other there, and that's going to be a safety car out. Here comes the Alpine safety car now out onto the circuit. This is good news if you're Martinius Stenshorn, bad news if you're Tramnitz or Kamara, because they built a gap of 3 seconds over to the rest of the field. Now that gap comes down. The safety car's coming in on this lap. So let's quickly, while we have time, go through the order. Tramnitz leads Kamara, leads Stenshorn. The gap between those two in the championship, 22. They're fighting over second. Stenshorn leading Tramnitz. Currently, Tramnitz would score 25. Stenshorn would be scoring 15. So the gap would come down by 10 points, leaving it at 12. Masson comes in to get a new front wing. Capietto in 4th, Bedrin in 5th, Havercourt 6th, Antonelli 7th, Bora in 8th, Van Hoopen 9th, Belinsky 10th. In terms of the teams championships, R-Race GP are 1st, 3rd, and they have Zagazzetta, who was up there but appears to have dropped down the order. But they've got Tramnitz and Stenshorn way up the order. Zagazzetta, sadly, is 3 laps down. So, unfortunately, he's had a disappointing few laps. He's actually in the pit lane. But it looks like R-Race GP are currently outscoring Prema. So the team's championship will roll into tomorrow because they have cars 1st and 3rd. Prema have their cars 2nd and 7th. Okay, we restart for the 2nd time in this race. German driver Tim Tramnitz leading the way, looking to become the first German driver to win at this level in 15 years. He's qualified every single race inside the top 10. He's the only driver to do that. Now he's looking to become the first driver in 15 years to win at this level. Here he makes his way now down towards turn number 2. Tim Tramnitz wants it. Oh no, we're going to get another safety car. That's Enzo Scionti off. Has just not. Oh, that's Valentin Klus, sorry, who's off. Valentin Klus is off at the final corner. Enzo Scionti was not the driver we saw going off. It's Valentin Klus on his home race. Enzo Scionti in the 29, of course. Valentin Klus is off. His teammate in the Mol Elite Racing car. Well, that's a real shame. His home race this weekend, and that could see us having another safety car. For now, we'll call it as we see it, and that's Lorenzo Flusha diving down the inside of Noah Stromstedt. This has been a superb performance for Flusha. Oh, no! Damage there for the Trident car of Owen Tangavellu. That looks like suspension damage to the front left, and Owen Tangavellu is out. Just when the safety car had come out as well, Owen Tangavellu is off. And he's going to go no further in this race. Broken front left suspension, and the Alpine safety car is needed once again. Everyone desperate to make some places as quickly as possible. Flusha did make one. Klus, it's not been the home race he would have hoped for. You could hear in the background the fans giving him some support nevertheless. And climbing out the car is Owen Tangavellu as well. So we were due a safety car. And just as the boards came out, Owen Tangavellu crashed. So this was the move from Flusha. Tangavellu was side by side with 2 RPM cars, went into the side of Noah Stromstedt, front left to right rear, and that's what caused the front left suspension damage, and that unfortunately is a car that is going to be going absolutely no further in this race. Well, a real shame. This one might be a slightly longer safety car. We've got, well, I was briefly mentioning to you there how this would be the first time in 15 years we've had a German winner. The sporting director of PHM Racing, Roland Rehfeld, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, back in 1998, won in what was then the Formula Renault Euro Cup, was running under that title, won here in 1998, but since then no German winners at Hockenheim at this level. The last time that championship raced here, of course, that merging with the Formula Regional European Championship to give us this championship. Caio Collet won here in 2020. We had Victor Martins win here in 2019. Max Futrell winning here in 2018. 2018 as well. RSGP, the most successful team, having won in all 3 of their last visits, helping them to win the Teams Championship in 2018 and 2019. MP Motorsport, the only other team to have won here as well. Tim Tramnitz will be hoping to go on and become another German winner and add to the wins that RSGP have already got here. The incident between the 2 Santalop racing cars will be investigated after the race, but certainly the experience that RSGP have around this circuit is showing. A lot of teams and drivers making their debuts here this weekend. In terms of drivers, 23 of the 33 drivers racing here for the very first time. The only ones to have raced here would have been those that raced here in the ADA CF4 Championship, which no longer runs, of course. And the only teams that would have raced around here would have been the teams that either raced in that championship or raced in the Formula Renault Euro Cup. Other than that, no other teams would have raced around here. The likes of RPM, for example, jumped in new for them. This is a completely brand new experience, and I spoke to Keith Donegan about that earlier. Tough circuit, he said, lots of high-speed corners, just not, you'd have no real ideas. When you go to Barcelona, we have a rough idea what we're going to put down on the car, but this is completely new for us. And this is where we start our 2024 season as well. The 2024 calendar has been announced. We come back here on the 11th and 12th of May, and then we go to Spa, Zandvoort. We're going to be back with DTM for round 3. Then Hockenheimring, Mugello, Paul Ricard, Imola, Red Bull Ring, Barcelona, and Monza as well. Do want to give a shout out, I did so earlier on the subject of RPM, to Adam Fitzgerald, who is back in the car this weekend. If you haven't checked out his social media, do go and do so. He's been posting a couple of stories and videos about himself racing over in the States this weekend in the USF Pro 2000, which is a similar level to this, albeit on that side of the pond. So absolutely superb for him to have the physical and mental strength to come back from what he's come back from so soon as well, and get himself back in a race car. And we're all behind you, Adam, everyone here in the paddock. We're all supporting you as well. We must say, everyone, on behalf of ACI Sport, a huge congratulations. I'm sure he might be watching this weekend. A huge congratulations to Casper Stuka, who won the Italian F4 Championship as well last weekend at Vallelunga, who won 9 races in a row, was around 115 points behind Arvid Lindblad, and came back 9 race wins in a row to go and take the title. We have some very exciting drivers from that championship getting ready to come into this championship next season. As we end the season, of course, we always look to who the next drivers coming in to the championship are, who's going to be staying, which teams they will be racing with, where our current drivers are going as well. Of course, we've had plenty of drivers out testing in FIA Formula 3 post-season testing at Jerez. Drivers who have raced with us this season, not all of them here this weekend, but Martinius Stenchon was an impressive 6th place with High-Tech Pulsate. Santiago Ramos was there with Trident, finished 9th. Charlie Wirtz was out there with Genza, finishing 11th. Sami Megatunif was there with Trident, finished 12th. Hadrian David with MP Motorsport, which was fantastic to see. He's actually over at the circuits of the Americas this weekend, and we must wish Hamda Al-Khabaisi and Leonard Bula all the very best, and Amna Al-Khabaisi as well, who are racing in the F1 Academy season finale, which is being broadcast live for the very first time. So make sure you check that out this afternoon and tomorrow as well. Lawrence Van Hoopen, Hadrian, is over there this weekend coaching Lena. So good luck to them both. Lawrence Van Hoopen was out there with ART Grand Prix at Jerez, 16th. Tim Tramnitz, 22nd with MP. Matthias Zagazeta, 25th with Jens. And then we had Josh Dufek out there with PHM Racing, as I said, their sporting director, the last German winner around this circuit in 1998. Then Emo Fittipaldi Jr. was out there as well. Nikhil Bora was an addition to the Barcelona test with Rodin Carlin. They go testing again on Monday and Tuesday at Imola. So best of luck to all the drivers who go out there. I'm sure we will see many racing around the circuit. And speaking of drivers in FIA Formula 3. Paul Aron is here this weekend, our joint record holder for wins, our record holder for pole positions as well, 9 to his name. He's here supporting his brother Ralph, who's racing in the ADAC GT Masters and DTM. Great to have him here supporting the Prema racing team, here supporting his brother as well. Really enjoyed being back and said how much this championship helped him jump into FIA Formula 3 and get off to a positive start as well, and get off to a start where he fought for the championship and then vice championship title all the way to the last round. So great to have Paul back in the paddock. Okay, let's focus now on Tim Tramnitz. The Red Bull junior driver leads us up to turn number 12. Will we see him go on and get himself on the top step of the podium? Here he comes then through the turn number 12 hairpin and up towards the chicane. Tim Tramnitz, the crowd cheering as he makes his way through the final 2 corners. He's got himself on pole position tomorrow. Can he get his racing weekend off to a winning start as he comes across the line? Rafa Kamara right in behind. Don't forget, push to pass is now active. As they cross the start finish line, they get to use it 5 times. If they've got any left, I'm sure they will be using it down towards turn number 6. Stenchorn 3rd, Capietto 4th, Bedrin in 5th, then Antonelli just behind Havikor, then Bora, Van Hoop and Belinsky. Here we go through turn 2 and in towards turn number 3. Megatunif under attack from Lorenzo Flusha. Then that's Amaya Berg going side by side with Marquez Aman. Great racing between those two over 18th place. Here comes Victor Bernier in the orange MP fighting away there with Alessandro Giusti, and that's a Prema car trying to dive down the inside. That looks like Lorenzo Flusha to me, trying to make a move on someone for P11. That might have been Sami Megatunif, as we're side by side for the race lead. Rafa Kamara to the outside, Tim Tramnitz to the inside. In the background, we're side by side for the last step on the podium as well. Maceo Capietto tried to go around the outside of Martini Stenchorn in failing to get by. He's now under attack and he's now been passed. Nikita Bedrin has gone through into 4th place. Well, we said to keep an eye on Nikita Bedrin. He's now staring at a possible podium finish for the Van Amersfoort racing team. He does not score points, so the points for his position roll to the next driver. That's one thing to bear in mind. He will not get in the way of points between Martini Stenchorn and Tim Tramnitz. Here we go across the line, less than 3 minutes to go. We will have an additional lap at the end as well. 2 minutes and 45 seconds left remaining. Kamara 3/10 behind Tramnitz. We're going to see them side by side down towards the hairpin. There's absolutely no doubt about that. And Stenchorn could be involved in this as well. We may see them 3 wide into the turn 6 hairpin this time. Here we go, and you can see Tramnitz trying to break the toe, moving to the inside. Now he's going to have to move back to the inside of turn number 6. Kamara goes to the outside. Great view of them as they go to hit the brakes into turn 6. Who's going to win the race on the brakes? It's Tramnitz just ahead of Kamara, and Kamara having to back off. Now the other RHGP car gets involved. Martini Stenchorn closing in on Rafa Kamara. Rafa Kamara now not knowing whether he attacks or defends. He looks to defend in towards turn 8, and Stenchorn fights a gap on the inside, pushes Kamara wide, and that is a superb overtake from Stenchorn. Gets himself up into 2nd place. Well, Kamara did not see that one coming at all and had no option but to run wide. Stenchorn up into 2nd place. That is someone who's fighting for 2nd in the championship. This is what you call selling the dummy. I'm going for the outside. No, I'm not. Here I come to the inside. Fair play to Kamara. Gave him the room but had no option but to run wide. He'll hold his hands up for that and say, well, he gave me no room. Stenchorn, though, coming down the inside. That is absolutely superb driving from him. Great side-by-side racing in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. One thing it has done is given Tim Tramnitz a lead of 1.2 seconds, and that the German fans are going to be loving. Watch Nikita Bedrin, though. He moved up to 3rd place whilst all that was going on. Now he could be going through to 2nd. In the orange and black Van Amersfoort racing car. That's now the driver to watch. He has absolutely nothing to lose. He's here as a guest driver this weekend. All he wants is a race win, and Nikita Bedrin closes in on Martini Estenchor. Will we see him going down the inside? Not quite. Into the hairpin for the penultimate time. Runs slightly wide there, not quite able to get through. In the background, Roman Belinsky going side by side with Van Hoopen. Bedrin trying to almost push Martini Estenchor down towards T7. Is he going to pull Estenchor on Stenchor? He's certainly going to try and do so. Not quite able to get through in the end. Tramnitz will be loving this. He's extending his lead while all this is going on. There's Roman Belinsky side by side with Lorenz Van Hoopen in the fight for P9. Lorenzo Flusha will score points in 11th with Nikita Bedrin inside the top 10. Up towards the turn 12 hairpin now they go. Just behind that is Ramos. Then it is Megatuniv. Then it is Noah Somstead. Tim Tramnitz looks like, unless he makes a mistake, he might have this one in the bag. Whoa, Roman Belinsky. Almost a very ambitious move down the inside of Lorenz Van Hoopen there as they come now down the start finish straight onto the final lap of the race. 1.5 seconds between Tramnitz and Stenchor. Tramnitz, this is his race to lose. Who's going to join him on the podium? Which order will they stand in? It could be any one of 6-7 drivers. We've got Stenchor, Bedrin, Camara, Capietto, Havicourt, Antonelli, all in a line down towards turn 6. There they are, look at them, all queuing up. Nikhil Bora, don't count him out. Don't count Antonelli out either. Down to the hairpin for the final time. Drivers using the push to pass. Stenchor defending, Bedrin goes to the outside. Who's got, and running wide there, Capietto runs wide down to the hairpin. That will allow Havicourt to go through. Antonelli will go through as well. Trying to break the toe with Stenchor as they come into turn 7 for the final time. Bedrin moves to the outside. Is he going to be going all the way around the outside? Stenchor defending perfectly, but on the exit, Bedrin draws alongside through turn 10. Will be side by side through turn 11 for the final time. Is he going to be brave and go around the outside? Nikita Bedrin, not quite. It looks like Tim Tramnitz will win the race, but who is going to finish in second? And that's Santiago Ramos in the green and orange, round the outside of Roman Belinsky to take 10th place on the final lap of the race. But round the final corner, the German driver on home soil. For the first time in 15 years, we have a German winner at Hockenheim, and his name is Tim Tramnitz for RHGP. They are victorious at this circuit once again. It's a 1-2 finish as they begin their fight back in this final round for the team's championship. It's kept alive with a 1-2 from Tim Tramnitz and Martini Estenchor. Nikita Bedrin takes his first ever podium in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine on just his second outing, and first with the Van Amersfoort Racing Team. Rafael Camara will take the points for third place. Kaz Havicourt finishes in 5th. Andrea Kimi Antonelli 6th. Then Maceo Capietto, Nikhil Bora, Lorenz Van Hoopen, Ramos 10th place with a brave move round the outside of Roman Belinsky, who will pick up a point as Nikita Bedrin does not score any. But the crowd really enjoyed that one. Tim Tramnitz navigating his way through to the lead, and despite the safety car restarts, he did not let anyone take that lead from him. In the end, winning by 1.6 seconds. An absolutely superb performance from him. Textbook defending when it was needed. Tim Tramnitz managed to go and secure victory in front of his home crowd, and he has pole position for tomorrow. The last person to take a double victory was the man who is here watching this weekend, Paul Aron, and that came at Zandvoort last year. Will we see, for the very first time this season, a driver taking 2 victories on the same weekend? What a story it would be if Tim Tramnitz could go and do it. He could become the first driver as well to qualify in the top 10 as well. We've seen him qualify in the top 10 in every single race this season. That a record he has already broken. Martinius Stenchorn finishes in second. Nikita Bedrin in third place. Rafael Camara, fourth place for him. Kaz Havercourt fifth. Andrea Kimi Antonelli sixth. Maceo Capietto seventh. Then it's Nikhil Bora in eighth place. Behind that, Lawrence Van Hoopen ninth. Santiago Ramos in 10th place. Then it was Belinsky, Flusha, Megatunov, Stromstead. After that was Bernier, Amand, Dirksen, Verg, Sagrera, Provost, Lebon, Gilter, Maschio, Soldavidi, Fittipaldi Jr., Shionti, Clemenco, sadly, Giusti, Tangavelu, Klus, Masson, Zagazeta, and Dominguez did not finish the race. Well, there they come into the pit lane. The cars making their way in. I think the crowd here at Hockenheim really enjoyed that one. And Tim Tramnitz, given where he is in the queue, I think making the most of the in-lap. We did not see anyone qualify in the top 10 in every single round last year. We hadn't seen it this year. Tim Tramnitz did that earlier when he qualified in the top 10. He became the only driver to qualify in the top 10 in every single round. Now he's looking to become the first driver this season to take a double victory. Can he make two records in a weekend and help RHGP become teams champions in the process? For the first time in 15 years, we have a German winner at this level. Tim Tramnitz climbs out of his car in front of his home crowd, stands on the RHGP car. He can't believe it. He's a winner at Hockenheim, and that is going to be a moment he remembers in his career for a very, very long time. Goes over to his dad to celebrate straight away, who can't believe it either. What an absolutely fantastic result. He was really disappointed after qualifying earlier, but managed to recover quickly, got through to the lead, and there was no one that was going to stop Tim Tramnitz today. Martinius Stenchorn made it a 1-2 for the team. Just what they needed to do in terms of the team's championship as well. And well done to Nikita Bedrin. Was great to welcome him to the championship last time out with Monolith. He got their joint best ever result in this championship. And now he's got Van Amersfoort Racing onto the podium as well. Well done to him. He's finished on the podium with them here in ADA CF4, and now he's on the podium with them here in Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine on what is his first time racing here at this circuit in these cars. And that is why he is a podium finisher in FIA Formula 3. Tim Tramnitz taking in every moment. A lot of the crowd staying put to welcome the drivers onto the podium, which you can see just in front of you there. We're going to start by welcoming out Nikita Bedrin for Van Amersfoort Racing. Well done to him, a guest driver this weekend, and he's been a valuable asset so far for Van Amersfoort Racing. That was an absolutely fantastic drive, coming from 8th on the grid to P3. Martinius Stenchorn putting in some superb moves, particularly on Rafael Camara, diving down the inside at turn 8 to get his way through into second place. You can tell that's a driver fighting for second in the championship. He takes the rookie win with that as well. Here he comes, a little bit quicker on the track than he is off it. Martinius Stenchorn, rookie winner, second overall as well, and got his elbows out when he needed to. But our winner, Tim Tramnitz for RHGP, the German winner at Hockenheim. He's been thinking about this round for a long time, and now he takes the win on home soil with a huge crowd here as well. RHGP, a win for them, not for the first time here at Hockenheim. Great form at this circuit, living up to it once again. And this will be a special moment for Tim Tramnitz as well on the podium, and our rookie winner, as I mentioned, Martinius Stenchorn there in second place. Well done to him, finishing in second. It's the overall wins he's going for. The overall win today going to Tim Tramnitz. Let's get the trophies out. Third place, Nikita Bedrin, his first ever podium in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. I'm not sure it will be his last either. Of course, we go racing again tomorrow morning. He's racking them up now. Martinius Stenchorn takes yet another podium. That's his 10th now of the season. And then we move to Tim Tramnitz, his 9th podium, 3rd win in the Formula Regional European Championship by Alpine. And this one will mark above all the others, I'm sure. And no matter what he goes on to do next to Red Bull Junior, this will be one he remembers for a very long time. And a well done to RSGP as well, fighting for the team's championship with Prema. They needed to outscore that team, they needed to win. And that's exactly what they've done. And it's 12 rookie wins for Martinius Stenchorn, breaking the previous record of 8 wins. He's been absolutely sublime when it comes to rookie wins.
Give a big applause, ein großer Applaus für unser Podium in der Formula Regional European Championship.
Well done, Tim Tramnitz, on the top step here at Hockenheim.
Und dann rutscht gerne zusammen, stand a little bit closer on the podium for our photographers.
As I said, he's going to be starting on the pole position for tomorrow. He has raced here twice in ADAC F4 in 2020 and 2021, taking 2 wins and 4 podiums and 1 pole. So it's now 3 wins, 5 podiums and 2 pole positions here at Hockenheim. So he does like this circuit, beat the likes of Ollie Bierman back in ADAC F4 as well. But this is one he wants to double win here. He wants to be the first one to do it since Paul Aron. He wants to be, of course, get that 2nd place in the championship. Join us tomorrow for the 2nd race.